All right, Chris and I both saw the movie Logan,
Logan!
a Wolverine tale. The third, arguably the best standalone Wolverine
I would
film.
say, without question, the best.
The Wolverine was awesome.
I don't know that it's arguably. I think it just is.
Well, I mean,
it's leaps and bounds better.
You could argue with someone. If,
I mean,
if,
I guess you
they felt
could.
compelled
Do you want to argue in favor of the Wolverine?
No.
I didn't
I'll argue
think
in favor of X-Men Origins Wolverine and how it's a superior film.
I don't know. I watched that Half in the Bag where they talked about it. It's Mike's favorite movie.
Oh my god. So, we saw the movie. It was opening night, and right off the bat, really caught off guard by the pleasant surprise of a Deadpool teaser.
Yeah.
And apparently that didn't show in all theaters across the country. That was only in select cities or select regions or whatever. So
Really?
Consider us lucky, because
I
then it
do.
leaked online a couple days later, and I've seen it all over the place now.
Right.
But that was great, man. I really love
Just
seeing it,
call
and I'm
me
really
Baby
hoping
Joe.
I'm really hoping that maybe we'll get a Hugh Jackman cameo in the next Deadpool film.
That'd be pretty great.
They almost have to do it.
I mean, I don't think they have to do anything, especially considering that this was like the last Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
But he doesn't even have to be Wolverine in the Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
He could be a different character, or he could just be Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about Deadpool, is it doesn't have to be canon.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a true story.
Yeah. So that was fucking right off the bat great.
Yeah.
Also the funniest part of the rest of the movie that we saw. Because it is
Yeah.
fucking dark, dude.
It
and
is.
violent.
It is
Super
incredibly violent.
And I talked to you after the movie about this, but everyone says that Logan owes so much to Deadpool, because without Deadpool's success, it wouldn't have gotten made and all that kind of stuff, which it probably does, but I think it owes more to Mad Max.
Yeah.
Fury Road, and the success that movie had and the critical acclaim that it had, because for that first act, it reminded me of Mad Max a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
And then
I
the
can
third
see
act
that.
too, because
Yeah.
then we got into Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, when he finds Eden full of kids. But yeah, so to me it is very Mad Maxy.
Mm.
But with a nice middle chunk that was more of a superhero. But really, I mean, is a superhero movie even a genre anymore? Because it seems like they're doing...
Every superhero movie has a separate subgenre that it's associated
right, because,
with.
I mean, if you could...
the Winter Soldier was superhero movie plus CIA intrigue film.
Right.
Ant-Man is a superhero movie
Heist
with a
movie.
heist thing. Yeah.
But I think that's, and we can kind of go off a little bit. I think that's where DC is going wrong, is because they're just trying to make superhero movies. They're not trying to put them into other kinds of forms of entertainment. But with Logan, to me, it's like a road movie.
Yeah. It's a road trip movie.
Yeah, it's like a Thelma and Louise with lots of beheading and superpowers. But there's no crazy bombastic city destroying, effects in this movie. It's very grounded.
There's no giant blue laser.
No giant blue laser in the sky in the middle of New York.
Yeah.
Logan doesn't save the world. He just saves a few kids.
Yep.
Really, that's all he does. It's a very small story when you think about the scope of superhero movies and Marvel movies in general, and X-Men movies anyway. But it's a very contained story. Now, some of the things that I liked the most about it was Patrick Stewart, man.
Yeah.
As an aging, senile fucking Professor X.
Yeah. And
the relationship between him and Logan, where Logan is his caretaker and obviously annoyed with how he's acting, but he still does it out of the goodness of his heart, the kindness of his heart, because, I mean, it's fucking Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
There's a man he's known for, 50, 60 years.
Right. Well, I mean, they're probably close to the same age, and possibly Logan maybe even older.
Well, Logan's a hell of a
Charles
lot
Xavier.
older
Yeah.
if you take X-Men Origins.
Oh, yeah, because he was in World War II and shit.
Well, and because in that, he was alive in the 1800s.
Oh, shit.
So,
dude, I've only ever seen X-Men Origins Wolverine one time. So
it's really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one puts Logan's origin in the late 1800s.
I was surprised to see the chick from Orange is the New Black in this. Did you watch that show?
No,
Oh,
I've never watched any of
the
it.
nurse that had Laura. Is that her name? Laura X-23.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nurse that like broke Laura out and had all the footage from the thing that she plays a role in Orange is the New Black. That
Oh,
I
that's
like.
kind
I
of
like
cool.
her character. Yeah, Caliban.
Yeah.
Was he in
Stephen Merchant.
Yeah, was that character in X-Men Apocalypse? The bald dude that Apocalypse got the Four Horsemen like stole Storm from. Remember?
Ooh, yeah, I do.
But a much older version of him.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's the same character, but I'm not like 100% sure. If I'm wrong,
Yeah, and
I'll admit it if I'm wrong.
I haven't watched Apocalypse since it came out last
Right, me neither,
year,
and I have no
so-
desire to watch it again.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'd probably watch Logan again though.
Oh yeah.
I've watched Deadpool multiple times, but really, as far as the X-Men movies go, I've seen all of them. I think maybe the first one, the second one, and First Class are the only ones I've watched more than once.
Yeah. I know that I've seen the first one multiple times, the second one multiple times, and the third one multiple times. And then I've seen First Class a bunch of times and Days of Future Past a couple of times each.
Yeah, I only saw Days of Future Past once.
I have only seen Apocalypse one
Yeah.
time. I've only seen The Wolverine one time, and I've seen Origins far too many times to to actually admit to.
So, man, I mean, really, the tone of this film is such a far departure from really any superhero, quote unquote, superhero movie that we've gotten thus far. It's very sad,
Yeah.
you know, and you just see Logan suffering a lot. And a lot of people suffering, like the family he
That
runs into.
poor fucking incredibly nice family.
Yeah, that took them in, all died horribly.
Horribly.
Even the boy.
Yep.
Even the boy. And really, I mean, do you think that Laura is going to come back at all? Because the producer or the writer or something said that they want to do a standalone X-23 movie. But what I would have a problem with if they did that is since she was introduced in such a brutal movie as Logan.
You wouldn't want them to make
Yeah,
the next one a fucking PG-13. Like,
and would they be
legit
able to cast
superhero
the same
movie.
actress? I mean, she could be. I mean, she's 11.
Yeah, thereabouts.
So maybe like wait like 2 or 3 years. Maybe she's 13, 14, kind of like a kick-ass,
Yeah.
that girl, Chloe.
But I mean, you had mentioned like doing the New Mutants or something.
And I did some reading up on X-23. She wasn't in the New Mutants. She
Right.
was in the new X-Men, which that could be. And what Chris is saying is after the movie, I was like, maybe they're going to use this to kickstart a new X-Men franchise with those kids
Yeah.
and their adventures,
Which I would watch. Like, all of those kids have been through the shit.
Right.
Like, if they did an R-rated movie just starring those kids, like make it a Goonies movie or something,
Right.
that'd be fucking
Like
amazing.
the Lost Boys
An
or
R-rated,
something from like Peter Pan.
Goonies movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
it would be cool.
So I guess my only real complaint about the movie is that it seemed a little bit too long for me. And B, I was really hoping for any kind of cameo that we weren't expecting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like any kind of cameo from any kind of X-Men character.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem with that is that the fact that Charles had murdered a bunch of them the last time that he had his brain thing.
Right. Even Magneto.
I don't know.
He could have been wearing his helmet.
Magneto.
I mean, it would have been nice to see a really old Ian McKellen, somewhere, just
Yeah.
anywhere, or like any mention of him or anything like that, just to kind of tie it in there a little bit better.
Maybe. I mean, he's such a well-known mutant, though, that if he had started to go senile, people probably would have just straight up murdered him.
Right. Now, I think I do have a little bit of an issue of cloning of Wolverine to where it's like the villain, of course, is this company. But it's like Wolverine has to meet his match himself.
Yeah.
You
Younger Wolverine.
And to me that was just like a little but overall,
I mean, once they introduced X-24, and I was like, well, shit, that's gonna be the final battle, obviously, because it's fucking a clone of younger Wolverine.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like they just put that in there because they had to, because it's a superhero movie. And there has to be a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it could have been, they could have had fights in it like that throughout the movie like they did without the X-24 character, had Charles die of something else, and just him, like, the emotional, like, dealing with all that kind of stuff would have been just fine for me.
Yeah.
I would have been as satisfied, if not maybe even a little bit more.
But then how would Logan have died at the end?
Does Logan have to die at the end? And is Logan really dead?
I mean...
Dude, if you've read any of the comic books...
They've killed him a bunch of times,
They have,
yes.
like, incinerated all the skin and tissue off of his body, and it just started growing again on top of his adamantium skeleton. Like, Logan, in the comic books, Wolverine is practically immortal in some stories.
Yeah.
So I don't really think that Wolverine ever is really going to be dead. You know, he may not be played by Hugh Jackman. They could cast a different actor to play Wolverine. In fact, I don't know of any comic book character that's been played by the same person as much for as long as Wolverine. Because even Professor X was played by James McAvoy.
Yeah.
And they were in the same movie.
Yeah.
In one of them. But, you know, it's just... I don't know, man. With that, and, you know, we've talked about Legion, and I've watched that. I really like the direction that it seems like the X-Men movies after Deadpool, and with this, and with Legion, and as far as this whole universe goes, I like the direction that they're going, with the exception of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Because that was just a superhero movie.
Well, and it was, like, being made at the same time as Deadpool, so they didn't have any of the influences coming out for it.
But I like the idea of doing each movie in a different genre, and it seems like finally, what is it, Fox that has X-Men?
I think so.
It's like they're finally, like, caught on to that.
Yeah.
And like, hey, we need to do that too. And so they did it with Deadpool, and they made it a comedy.
Yeah. And
then they did it with Logan. So it's like this, you know, super adult drama, you know, road trip movie. But it seems like the X-Men, quote unquote X-Men movies are just going to be superhero-y movies.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're going to get, whatever the next one is with fucking Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's going to be a Phoenix. I think they're going to do the Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
Or try to do it again anyway.
Right.
Because they teased that at the end of Apocalypse.
Right. I mean, because she had to use the Phoenix power in order to actually beat Apocalypse. So,
what did you think of X-23 and the little girl who played her?
She was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I was kind of hoping she would be mute the entire time.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, that's convenient that you can now talk after everybody else is dead. But, I mean, she did speak mostly in Spanish, which I guess is a caveat to that.
I thought that was pretty great.
Yeah. I thought she was good, man.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't really get too emotional as far as the movie goes, and she kind of seemed like...
I mean, legit, the only tears that I shed during that movie were there at the end when she was real broken up.
Yeah, what do you think about, like, the imagery of the X-Men comics and, like, the little boy holding the Wolverine doll during the funeral? Like, it's in this future where X-Men became a thing.
I mean, from what I've heard from what the director has said, like, this movie takes place in a completely different universe than any of the other X-Men movies.
Oh.
With maybe the exception being, like, the Wolverine.
Right.
Because he did have that katana.
Mm-hmm.
So this one might have taken place in the same universe that the Wolverine did, but I think that's supposed to be the only one that it might have actually taken place in.
Right.
So he still would have had, his relationship with Charles and Magneto and the rest of the X-Men, but the X-Men themselves would have been very different from what we have seen in X-Men movies. So we then get, like, the X-Men cartoon and stuff like that.
See, I don't like the idea. See, I don't like the idea of Logan not being a part of that universe.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like that because it's using the same characters, the same actors that played them, but it's in a different universe. How is the average moviegoer supposed to accept that?
I mean, suck it.
I guess so. Go fuck yourselves. Audience.
Many worlds theory, bitch.
I guess so. A girl I work with told me she's like, it was like a Johnny Cash song come to life.
Dude, that's great.
You think so?
I think I do. Like, because, I mean, obviously they used Johnny Cash music.
Well, they used his cover of one of my favorite Nine Inch Nails songs.
Right. Wait, was Hurt in this?
In the trailer.
Yeah, in the trailer, I remember it was.
Yeah, I don't recall hearing a lot of Johnny Cash music in.
I remember there was at
movie.
least one somewhere in the movie. I think it was towards the beginning.
Yeah, probably.
I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
Eh.
9 Inch Nails is better.
The 9 Inch Nails version of Hurt?
You mean the original version
yes,
of
the
Hurt?
original version
that was sung by the guy who wrote it? Yes.
Yeah. You think that one's better?
Than Johnny Cash's? Absolutely.
I disagree entirely.
Well,
we'll talk about
it's okay to be wrong.
Yeah, no,
it's okay to be wrong, Chris.
Honestly, we maybe for our music pick thing next time. We'll talk about Hurt.
Hurt versus Hurt.
Yeah,
and we'll each just present our case. As to why it's better.
Okay. We'll plan that.
Stay tuned. Pin in that.
Episode 30 when we'll
do it.
Hurt v. Hurt.
Hurt v. Hurt. All right. So, anything else we wanted to say about Logan?
I mean, we have talked spoilers through pretty much the entire thing.
And that's okay,
so
because, fuck you
that...
if you get mad at spoilers.
Yeah.
This is 2017, bitch.
I'm surprised, any time that I managed to go into a movie without having been at least partially spoiled.
Right. I mean, would you recommend it?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Question.
Yeah, I would. And, really, the only Wolverine movie I wouldn't recommend is X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
And, I had a roommate when that movie came out, and he's a huge Wolverine fan and was super psyched about seeing it. He waited to go see it in the movie theater. It leaked online a week before it even got released, and that's the version that I saw. And I was like, dude, it's terrible. Don't go see it. You're going to hate it. You're going to be so mad. And he's like, no, it can't be that bad. It can't be that bad,
yeah.
Eric. And, later on, he was like, dude. It was like someone, raped his mom in front of him. That's what he looked like. Calm down. You need a drink of water or something?
I
buddy?
I might.
So go see Logan because it's a good time for the whole family.
It's a laugh
family
a minute.
film. Yeah, it's the
real
closest.
Wholesome.
It's the closest to a Wolverine family road trip movie, family vacation.
I mean, that is legitimately a true statement.
Mm-hmm. He's her dad, kind of.
Yeah, and Professor X is kind of his dad.
Yeah, in a way. In a way, he's Professor X's dad.
Exactly.
All right, what did you think of Logan? Have you seen it? Let us know in the comments below.